Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for another positive spin. Today we're going to be talking about, in October of course, one of the most divisive Halloween films there is, and that is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now, my relationship with this film was at a later age. Now, this came out, of course, in the early 80s. I didn't see it then because, unfortunately, like a lot of people, I listened to what a lot of people said. Now, granted, we didn't have social media back then, we didn't have YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but still, people were saying how much this movie sucked because Michael Myers wasn't in it. Come to find out, a lot of those people had never even seen the movie and were just going along with everyone else. Imagine that. Unfortunately, a lot of that stuff still happens today. It's a very disturbing trend. I mean, I understand people want to be accepted, but I don't know. I think you should have your own mind, and it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to see the film in a different light eventually, but just to go along with something that everyone else says when you haven't even seen the film, it just doesn't work for me. So I ended up watching this film later on, and surprisingly enough, I loved it. Now, my buddy that I grew up with, the only friend I had that basically liked horror, most of the friends that I had didn't like horror, but he actually saw it and he said it was worth seeing. And I remember his quote, "It has one of the best endings ever in horror that I've seen." I was like, okay, I'm sold. So I actually saw the film. I rented it when it came out on tape, and I liked it too. I liked it a lot. And I like it. It's not one of those movies that goes up and down for me. I like it a lot. It pretty much stays where it's at, but I still love it. I think it's a great film. Yes, granted, Michael Myers isn't in it, but there's plenty of other things to love in this film. Okay, let's put a positive spin on Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. First of all, I love the score. The score is fantastic. You get a John Carpenter score that is brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. I like the Silver Shamrock song. A lot of people do not, and that's okay. I get it. It's a bit monotonous, but it's just a lot of fun, and it gets me in the mood for Halloween. So that's just a personal thing. The gore is outstanding. The gore is what, in my mind, sets this apart from Halloween and even Halloween 2. Granted, you have some good gore in Halloween 2, but, there wasn't much blood or gore to speak of in the original Halloween. In this one, you get some really awesome kills. The story is amazing, in my opinion. Can you sit back and poke holes in it? Yes. And believe me, I have heard a friend of mine poke holes in this movie a lot of times. But for me, it's just entertaining. Yes, it's about a warlock with a piece of Stonehenge that has a robotic army, but it's just fun. It's a entertaining film for me. It's not for everyone, but I get that. Um, the sinister motives with kids is one of the things that I've always thought was a really big positive about this film, because a lot of people are, or a lot of people and a lot of people that produce movies and that make movies, they kids are off limits. They'll kill adults, they'll kill uh, teenagers, adolescents, stuff like that. But kids, they don't really go to like the kids. And this is a movie that focuses on kids. There's not going to be many adults that wear these masks. I mean, some will, but they're made to destroy our younger population. I love the masks. I think it's really cool because when we watched this with the Super Slash Brothers, is when I actually took these notes. And the three of us actually liked different masks. I know Joe's favorite mask, I believe, was the witch. Brad was the skeleton, and I was the pumpkin. I like the pumpkin the best. They're all awesome. Tom Atkins. Now, Tom Atkins, I think, is awesome in this. He's super cool. I like him in just about everything he's in. that I've seen, even the small parts, he makes better. So I just think he's a great actor. I like that actually Annie is in it from the first Halloween. Now, of course, she doesn't play Annie, but it's the same person in the film, which I think is cool when people use the same characters when they film. Even though this is a different type of film, but she's still in it. I like the small town feel of Santa Mira, where the masks are made, where Silver Shamrock, the warehouse, and the company are from. I think the small town feel gives it even more of a sinister. It just like makes everything more sinister because I mean, a big company you can see doing something like this and getting away with it, but something from a small town, even though it's a big company, I don't know, it just has a more sinister effect for me. The total original story, I think most people know by now that John Carpenter originally wanted to make it an anthology series. Of course, everyone wanted Michael Myers, so Michael Myers came back in the second one. The third one is something different. They tried. Some people like it, some people don't. Uh, it gives a lot of nods to, of course, Halloween. It has a really good Halloween feel to it, especially with the trick or treaters and the masks. And, there's one scene in particular that I always thought was really cool, and it's part of this cover right here. This is when the kids are walking when the sun's going down, and they're getting ready to go trick or treating. And it just has a really cool feeling. That shot is just really, really cool. I've always liked it. And to quote my buddy who saw this film before I did and was one of the reasons why I watched it in the first place, in my opinion, it has one of the best horror endings ever. It's like a cliffhanger that something bad's going to happen and things aren't going to be all right. I mean, it's so suspenseful and it really grabs you. And he's trying to get them to shut down the Silver Shamrock commercials, but there's one left, and it's just the way it ends is just so heartbreaking, and I don't know, it's just awesome. I still think it is one of the best endings ever in horror. I mean, that I put that up against Carrie. I put that up against Friday the 13th. Um, I just think that it really puts you on edge at the very end. I love this film. I always have. To be honest, finding positives for this film isn't a problem for me at all. Finding negatives is a problem for me because I like it so much and I've liked it, since I originally saw it. If you have not seen Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, don't be discouraged that Michael Myers isn't in it. He is actually in the film, technically. He is in the film, but, not as a regular character like he has been. But give it a shot. It's a fun movie. It's got a really great Halloween feel to it. And this has been my positive spin on Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Don't forget to check out Joe's positive spin. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.